The weight feels heavier than the promise. When the darkness seems louder than the dream. When you look at where you are and whisper, "Why me?" But I came to remind you today, it's not an accident you're here. It's not coincidence you're still standing. You were chosen for this moment, not because you were the strongest, not because you were the smartest, but because something inside you refused to break when everything else did. You see, there are moments that define us, moments that test the depth of who we are. And this is yours. The moment that separates the ones who crumble from the ones who rise. The moment where purpose finally meets pressure. You may not see it now, but every battle you faced was preparing you for this hour. Every tear, every closed door, every delay, they weren't signs of rejection. They were signs of selection. You weren't being punished. You were being positioned. You weren't being pushed away. You were being prepared, because destiny doesn't look for the comfortable. It looks for the courageous. When the storm hit, you didn't run. When life tried to bury you, you dug deeper. When others quit, you kept going. That's why you're here. You were chosen to carry something powerful, something bigger than yourself, chosen to walk through fire and still come out shining, chosen to stand in a world that's lost hope and remind it that faith still wins. And I know it hasn't been easy. The nights have been long. The waiting has been painful. There were moments you wanted to give up, moments you felt unseen, unheard, forgotten. But don't you see? That's what chosen ones go through. They are forged in silence, tested in isolation, and strengthened in seasons no one claps for. You were hidden not to be forgotten, but to be refined. You were isolated not to be ignored, but to be instructed, because some lessons only grow in the dark. And if you're still here, if you're still breathing, still fighting, still believing, then heaven has decided your story is not over yet. This is not your ending. It's your awakening. You were chosen to rise when others fall, to speak when others stay silent, to believe when others give up. The pressure you feel right now, it's proof of purpose. The weight on your shoulders, it's evidence that something divine is being built in you, because greatness always demands more from those who carry it. And make no mistake, you carry greatness. It may not look like it right now, but it's in you. Every challenge that didn't break you became a brick in the foundation of your strength. Every disappointment that tried to destroy you became fuel for your faith. The world may not see what's inside you yet, but that's okay. They don't need to. Because when your moment comes, it will speak for itself, and no one will be able to deny what's been placed on your life. So don't despise the waiting. Don't curse the process. The delay is not denial. It's divine design. Every second of silence is preparing the sound of your victory. When the time is right, what's been hidden will be revealed. What's been growing in secret will bloom in public. And when it does, you'll realize it was worth every tear, every prayer, every lonely night. Because chosen ones don't rise easily. They rise intentionally. They rise with scars that tell stories, with faith that's been tested, and with strength that didn't come cheap. You paid a price for your peace. You fought for your joy. And that's why your light will shine differently. You're not ordinary. You're appointed. You're not behind. You're being built. And the very thing that was meant to break you is about to announce you. Yes, this is your moment. Not next year, not someday. Now. This is the hour everything starts to make sense. This is the season where everything you've endured begins to produce purpose. Look at how far you've come. You've survived storms that should have ended you. You've walked through fire that should have consumed you. But here you are, stronger, wiser, ready. And don't you dare think it was by accident. You were carried through every valley for this exact moment. You were chosen to be a light in a world drowning in darkness. You were chosen to show others that broken doesn't mean finished. You were chosen because you could handle what others couldn't. Chosen because your faith didn't die in the fight. Chosen because when life knocked you down, you learned how to rise. And now it's time to walk in what's been promised. No more shrinking. No more doubting. No more waiting for permission. You've already been called. You've already been equipped. Everything you need is already in you. So when fear whispers you're not enough, remind it that you were chosen anyway. When doubt tells you you're too late, remind it that purpose doesn't expire. And when the world tells you to quit, remind it that chosen ones never stop until they see it through. You're not just here to survive. You're here to shift something. You're here to heal something. You're here to break something. You're here to break something that's held generations captive. You are the answer to someone else's prayer, the hope to someone else's despair, the light to someone else's darkness. You were chosen not just to live, but to lead, not just to exist, but to excel, not just to endure, but to elevate. And when the noise of the world tries to drown out your purpose, go back to the voice that called you, the voice that said, I've chosen you, not for yesterday, not for tomorrow, but for this moment. This is your time to stand tall. This is your time to walk boldly. This is your time to declare, I may have been broken, but I'm still chosen. The pain you've carried, it has meaning. The waiting you've endured, it has purpose. The storm you've survived, it was shaping you for this exact season, because when you finally step into your moment, you'll realize something powerful. You didn't find the moment. The moment found you. It found your faith. It found your courage. It found your heart that refused to quit. You were chosen not because you're perfect, but because you're willing to rise again, willing to believe again, willing to keep walking even when the road feels endless. And that willingness, that unshakable fire inside you, that's what makes you unstoppable. So stand tall, lift your head, and step forward like someone who knows their name was written in purpose long before the pain ever came. Because this isn't the end of your story. This is the turning point. This is the moment you realize every hardship, every heartbreak, every hidden season was heaven preparing you for now. You've been chosen to be light in darkness, to be strength in weakness, to be faith when others have forgotten how to believe. So when the world asks, why you? You'll answer, because I was chosen for this. When fear asks, how will you make it? You'll answer, because I was chosen for this. When doubt says, you're not enough, you'll smile and say, I was chosen anyway. And as you rise, the world will see what heaven always knew. You were chosen, you were called, and you were built for this very moment. So step into it, own it, live it. Because everything you've been through was preparing you for one truth. You were chosen for this moment.